Hello, hello, hello. Welcome today. Welcome to today's topic. Today we have a live stream and inspiration that's all about talking about dealing with loss of your loved one. And we will do it in typical Manal fashion. We will do it from the lens of empowerment and honoring of everything, all of the bodies. And I was thinking about how are we going to enter such a beautiful topic. And I'm going to say beautiful because if we're dealing with loss, it typically means that there was love and that you're mourning, and mourning is a big word, but there's emotions and there's loss with respect to somebody that is loved. And I became aware that it is a complex subject and it deals with all four bodies very heavily. The physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the egoic body. So let's have fun with this. Let's relieve, let's heal, let's amplify. Let's really increase our level of awareness and understanding about what we're going through with loss collectively and really calibrate to a higher level. That's my intention for today. So as you come into the live stream, come in, introduce yourself. And are you dealing with loss? Have you dealt with loss? What is motivating you to sort of explore this topic today? Today will all about awareness, all about awareness. And you know that I look at the body from five elements, the five bodies. The first body is the egoic body. And that's where we carry our beliefs. And this is where we have our identity. And this is where really connection to spiritual. And then the mental body, this is where our thoughts are and our processing and our logic. And our mental body, our brain actually processes all four of the bodies. So sometimes we think it's one voice, but it's a voice for all four of the bodies. Andrea, good morning to you. The emotional body is where we carry our feelings, our sadness, our anger, our happiness, our frustration, any emotional responses in our emotional body. And then finally, our physical body. This is how we are, our physical being. If we have physical pain, our judgment on ourselves and our actions. And so loss is really dealing with all four bodies. On the physical plane, someone that you were connected with is no longer here on the physical. Someone you're connected with is no longer here on the physical. So what? Now I'm already going to emotional, and I didn't even mean to skip over it, but it is. What does that feel like? And feeling sometimes is the physical body, not the emotional body. So our bodies have physical sensations that are matched with our emotional. So our happiness might make us feel light. Our sadness might make us feel heavy. So talking again about loss, what I wanted us to start to become aware of is what are the physical sensations that we're feeling from loss. And if anybody is ready to start to share, what are the physical sensations? I know with loss, there's a lot of physical sensations. And this topic is so complex because there's so much overwhelming physical and emotional. And the way to sort of back out of it's probably not a good way to describe it, but the strategy and the approach that I'm going to suggest is shifting between the lenses, becoming aware of the four body and shifting the lenses. So loss, you have to really depend really strongly on your egoic, on your spiritual beliefs. What are your beliefs about life? And you might not really have physically thought about your beliefs about life, but death surely forces you to. Sporty Jen says, good morning, everyone. This is a tough one. This pulls me in so many different levels. I've talked about this a lot. Sporty Jen, fantastic. I'm so glad. And we collectively as a community have talked about death in so many different ways. We've talked about supporting others that are grieving. We've talked about death. Now we're talking about dealing with loss on our own. So we're going to keep on talking about it because it's one of the main elements about trust, surrender, and control. Because death is all about those three big ones. And dealing with loss, fear. So I want us to break it down Not so death isn't going to happen. Death is still going to happen, but we get the tools for awareness. Ray, there we go. Punched in the gut. Ray, that's fantastic. And tell me more about that feeling and maybe what that means, the symbolism. For me, punched in the gut means all the air taken out. It means not being able to function. It means that somebody has delivered a strong blow to you. It means disorientation from where you're living. Fantastic. So death is like being punched in the gut. Fantastic. A very big disorientation on the physical. So we're going to keep going through the levels, but right now we're talking about the physical. Andrea, grief, shock, free falling, and headache. So fantastic. Grief, I think, is emotional. Andrea, and all, sometimes it can be physical, or what are the physical? I think the grief and shock might be the emotional, while the free falling and the heartache are the physical manifestations of it. Yes or no? Do you guys agree, or do you think grief is also physical? I think the physical manifestations of grief is fatigue. Look at me. I'm like scrunching up my shoulders and like minimizing my size of my body, which is sort of protecting my solar plexus, my stomach. Punched in the gut, says Ray, not feeling capable in life anymore. Free falling, out of control. Andrea, right? Free falling is out of control. And headache, too much going on that we're not able to process. Fantastic. And guys, as we talk about this, we're going to bring it to the level of awareness, but not overindulge in any of the feelings. What we want to do is normalize. Death is normal. So I'm not trying to normalize. It's not in a negative way, but in an empowering way for us to recognize, these are the physical sensations of grief. This is normal. This is the physical sensations from loss. This is normal, because the more that we normalize our human experience, the more we can go to honor and remove the resistance associated with some of the normal expressions of loss. Okay? Did you guys get that? We want to honor the normal expressions of life. And when we put the resistance on the resistance, you guys know that's one of my favorite phrases now, resistance on resistance on resistance on resistance. If we resist our pain, we're locking it all up for it to explode or to hurt us physically. It turns into illnesses. So what we want to do is understand the components, the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the egoic, so we can either now or in the future understand, become aware, and become compassionate towards ourselves and others. Alan, beautiful. Heart pain, yes, loss. And one of the things that we're going to do today, and if I forget, you guys pull me back to this, is that there are exercises that we can do, energetic and spiritual energetic exercises that ultimately can help us heal that heart pain. There is energetic holes. There can be. I like that better. There can be energetic holes in our heart and the energy not moving. And if you are ready, we can fill those very simply. It's just with the intention. So there is physical heart pain, and it's associated with energetic lack of flow and holes. And we'll talk about that. And also there can be that part of you have died. Some people say part of me has passed, part of me has died, and they've taken a part of me. We've all heard those phrases, right? We've all heard it. They've taken a piece of me, and I feel a piece of me is gone, and I have a piece of them. Well, do we want to? Are we ready? We might not be ready. I've witnessed and seen people that are not ready, but if you are ready, we can become whole again and let them be whole again. So we will do that again. Again, if I don't remember, remind me. We're going to do these two things after we flush this out. This is so fantastic. Sherry, okay, let me finish Alan, but I missed you, Sherry. Heart pain, crying. Alan, wonderful, crying. Tears are such a powerful way to release. And it really saddens me, probably the right word, really saddens me when I watch people about to cry. Even me, I do it all the time. I'm ready to release, and then I stuff it all back in, because I don't want to lose control. I don't want to lose control. But crying is such a beautiful physical expression of pain. Crying. And so sometimes crying is so appropriate and it's so therapeutic. So crying. Fantastic, Alan. Crying. And low energy. The low energy comes back to what I was talking about with respect to the energy, to our flow, our flow of energy, that we're not flowing and that our heart is being in pain and everything's being in pain. The headaches, the fatigue, the low energy is, again, what did Ray say? The gut, my gut being punched in the gut. So all of this is we're not flowing. We're not aligning. We are in resistance. And we're likely resisting a lot of the feelings we're feeling. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Andrea, I had different reaction from death of a suicide of a friend or death by illness. Beautiful, Andrea. And I love this because there is a lot of complexities and we can talk about it. What are the different reactions? And let's talk about it. Were reactions mental? Was it self-blame? Was there judgment? We can start going into the emotional body if you want, if you all feel like we just flushed out the physical and go into the emotional. But I want us to go into the physical. These are the physical reactions. Here's the emotional manifestations of it. Here's the mental. And Andrea's even saying, a death of a baby is different than a death of an adult. Somebody that's been chronically ill is differently than somebody that's been healthy and young and vibrant and unexpected. So death does have different flavors and different reactions and different beliefs, because now it comes at our beliefs. Babies shouldn't die. People shouldn't suffer. They had a choice. Am I to blame? So now we start to see some of the thoughts and our mental positioning and its impact on our physicality. Andrea, am I touching on some of that? Gary, hi Manal. My mood is poor the last couple of days, so I'll probably listen. Sounds like a depressing thing subject. Well, Gary, my intention was not for this to be depressing. And when I was going into it, I was too like, oh, I'm high vibe. And I'm like, but we're talking about loss. But I'm like, I want this to be empowering. So what I'm hoping is that this doesn't even have to do, if we're listening to this and we haven't even experienced loss in a significant way or not dealing it, but it's an empowering as a human, because this is all applicable to any elements, not just death and loss. So the intention, although we're speaking to something that I know that we have complexities in how we feel and we think, I want it to be empowering, and I want us to leave coming out with strength and understanding and compassion for ourselves and compassion for others. That's what today's all about, is about compassion, and it's about surrender, and it's about trust, and it's about love, and it's about understanding the life and coming back to our egoic level, because we're going to end, I think we're progressing in the right way, because then we're coming back and then we're going to say, well, what are our beliefs? And let's lean on the beliefs, because when we're feeling resistant on the physical and the emotional, we lean on the egoic. If we're feeling resistant on the egoic, we lean on the physical. So I would suggest that loss is a opportunity to lean on your egoic and your beliefs and your understanding of life. So we'll get that. So Gary, I hope that you start to lift up as you keep going. And we could also talk about why your mood is low. Sporty Jen, the grief is so different though. With Robbie, I haven't been able to talk about so much. Beautiful. Shame. I'm just projecting. I'll keep reading. He'll stop talking. I'll keep reading. I can't stop talking. I'm talking. I'm the one talking. How am I going to stop talking? I'll stop interjecting. Okay. I hope you guys are laughing as I go off and tell myself I can't stop talking after I told myself to stop talking. Anyway, more anger, sadness, feeling closed down. Rita, I love you. She says, love you, Manal. Love you, Rita. More anger, sadness, feels closed down. Fantastic. And I'm going to just put some context. Robbie committed suicide, Sporty Jen. So I'm going to just put that context, because I know from these live streams give context. But for my sister, Sylvia, I want to talk about her and remember her all the time, even if it means thinking about how she died, her illness. It feels more acceptable to talk about the others to listen to, more acceptable. There's a judgment. And this is what Andrea was alluding to too. I feel guilty still about not feeling sadness and properly mourning. And for Robbie, perfect. I got that context for Robbie. And Sporty Jen, sending a hug to Gary, but let me ask you, Sporty Jen, so what are the feelings? So now there's again, it's layers and layers and layers and layers. So for Robbie, there's a physical loss. I know there's a loss. He's your twin. But there's a layer on top of it that won't allow you to acknowledge that loss, that separation. And what's that layer? What's that layer? I can give you the answer and everybody can share it. Or Andrea, you can even share. There we go. There's Andrea saying, yes, you do. With the suicide of my friend, I felt like I could have prevented it if I had known. So there is guilt there. There's a judgment that something was wrong and bad. With an illness, we have no control. But with suicide, I could have done something different. I was in control. I let things down. So this is where the mental thoughts start to come in. So again, what's the intention of today? To break the awarenesses down so when we are struggling, or if we are struggling, we can break down our key lime pie and see everything for what it is. So we can see it, so we can become aware of it. Because if all of you, whoever's in the Attaining Your Authentic Life, Sporty Jen put in this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful story by Portia, and I only know the author's name because Sporty Jen did a typo, because otherwise I wouldn't have remembered. I don't remember things like that. But it was Portia, not the car, but Portia Nelson, a 5-chapter stories. And chapter 1, I'm going to do a really quick cliff notes. Chapter 1 is, I was walking down the street and I fell into a hole and I had difficulty getting out. Chapter 2 was, I did it again and I had difficulty getting out. Not as difficult, but boy, I'm dumb. Still a victim, it's not my fault. Chapter 3, I went around it, I believe. I went around the hole. Was that chapter 3? No, chapter 3, they fell in the hole, but then they were able to get out quickly. Chapter 4, they avoided the hole by going around it. And chapter 5, they went on a different street. So what my point is, the more we talk about all the levels of awarenesses, we can start going on a different street. We can start to understand what level should I be hanging out with. We can start to let go of the layers of resistance and start to honor that we're just in whatever where we are. There's a spectrum of feelings that we feel. They talk about the 5 levels of mourning or grief, and for me it's a spectrum. There's a spectrum. I'm going to call it the spectrum. And so where am I in the spectrum? Is there resistance of me being on that spectrum, or am I allowing where I am on that spectrum and just sort of being with it all? So the intention is to be empowered. Is that good, guys? Because I just talked a lot. So guilt. Are we in control? If you're in control of your life and others' lives, can you guys give me a heart and can I start to follow you? If you are in 100% control, could you tell me if you are? Give me a heart and let me follow you. Okay? That's my silly way of saying we're not in control. And Andrea, there is a judgment that you and we all hold on ourselves for being better. I hold a judgment on myself for not being the best mom. I wish I could be the person I am now and have my children again. And then I'm like, well, Manal, but in another 10 years, probably you're going to be better and you're going to want to start over again. And this is not how life works. So there's a few things I can do. I can keep beating myself up, maybe stop growing, because if you stop growing, then you're status quo and it really doesn't matter. Or maybe I could just honor everywhere I am at the time that I am and stop judging the Manal of the past and loving her and accepting her. And because I love her and accept her, I love and accept the Manal of the now. So Andrea, I don't know if that addressed any of that, but yeah, there's a guilt that we might carry in our desire to control. Beautiful. I see Sporty Jen, honor each chapter. Honor each chapter. When I was unaware, I was unaware. But how can I judge myself for being unaware when I was unaware? We were born for that conditioning. Okay, fantastic. Andrea saying yes. Okay, good. Sporty Jen, I understand that, Andrea. It is the what ifs. And then let's talk about you guys, because we have a few suicides in there. What is it? There's a judgment on self. What about the judgment on them? How are you feeling about your friend, Andrea? And Sporty Jen, how are you feeling about Robbie? Rita says, I love you, Manal. And I'm going to say it again. Love you, Rita, because it feels so good. Ray, if you sit on your hands, you talk less. Ray, do you really want me to sit on my hands? That was a delayed lag, but okay, I can try and see who this is. Gary, this is kind of a no-joke subject. You guys are they're calling me out on talking about whether I should talk or not. Oh my God, this would have been great to see it in real time. Sometimes I see the comments in real time, sometimes I don't. Okay, Sporty Jen, some sidewalks feel a little easier to walk down, but I do not want to try step by step. Okay, this is fantastic because one of my awarenesses is for that chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is that some topics were always on chapter 5. And some chapters, it seems like, some subjects, it seems like we're always on chapter 1. So that's okay too. That's okay. We're born, we're conditioned, and we're conditioned to learn certain things. Isn't it a miracle? Isn't it amazing that we all get to be proficient in learning different things? Because if we're all here learning the same thing, wouldn't that be really boring? And wouldn't it really be really boring or really difficult if I had to learn absolutely everything, but I get to focus on some things and other people get to focus on other things, and then together we become a rainbow and we understand humanity in such a better way? So the chapters, some people might continuously be on chapter 1 in relationships, continuously be on chapter 1 in, I don't know, what else? Your career, your academia, how you're feeling. I don't know. There could be so many different things. And what we want to do is honor each chapter for each topic for everywhere we are. Perfect, Sporty Jen. And again, we're not affirming this stuff. This is not affirmations. This is feeling. So today we're going to keep going through because all shift is only done through feeling. Can't go through any other level. It has to be a shift in your feeling. Andrea, I felt shock at the courage of someone have taken their life. Beautiful. Andrea, I feel shock at the courage of, perfect. So there's an admiration in there too, which might feel a bit scary. But I felt shock at the courage, seeing that they're courageous, seeing that there's strength. I do believe that it takes incredible strength for somebody to take their own life. Anger, can I offer anger? Can I offer confusion? Frustration, self-doubt, just so many different feelings when it appears that somebody had control. It appears that somebody had control. And whether or not we can go into a theoretical question of whether or not they had control, I don't know. But the whole point is, what chapter are you on? How does that sound? Gary says, you're so funny. Okay. I don't know what I said to be funny, but I'm going to sit on my hands every time I go on and go off on a side street. Sporty Jen, angry. It's the way he gave up. Fantastic. He gave up and he left me. He abandoned me. Fantastic. He didn't write me a note or anything. No explanation. Fantastic. I know he was in pain and I felt pain too. Now I feel more numb than anything. Wonderful, Sporty Jen. And those are all important things to articulate. So important to articulate and let out those emotions and let them out. I am angry. He gave up and left me. I'm struggling here too. And how can he abandon me? And now I'm going to shut down and not feel anything because the feeling of all of these hosts of feelings of missing him and loving him and being angry is just too overwhelming to deal with. Sporty Jen, how does that feel? And you just letting that out is so powerful. And Sporty Jen, my intention is for after, and this is for all of you, for us to leave today on a high vibe. I do not want us to leave on low vibe. The intention today is to do some, what do I call it, you guys? Emotional throwing up. We will emotionally throw up and then we will end on a high vibe because we are here to human and we're going to choose to human from a high place. Who's going to join me on that? I'd like to see some hearts and I'd like to see some words. Who wants to join me with the intention that we are speaking this in the intention to let things out and to end on a high note and to even progress on a high note? Who's joining me? I want to see hearts and I want to see who's joining me. And Gary, I don't want to see all these crying emojis. Gary's got all these crying emojis for everybody. Can we create the intention? Because the intention is really helpful. Can we create the intention? Can we create the intention that we're doing this to allow ourselves to go to a higher vibration through awareness? Who wants to join me? I don't know. I think today there's a bit of a lag because I'm not seeing a lot of encouragement in what I'm saying, and I'm feeling really strong about this. Okay, Rita. Anger stage, when the narc reached out and placed blame on me, no contact for good. Anger stage, when the narc reached out and placed blame on me, no contact for good. What do you mean, Rita, about the no contact for good? Yeah, but there's blame. And not, you know what? That's really interesting is that you can blame yourself and others can blame you as well, and blame you. And so let me ask you guys something. What's the counter treatment to blame? What is the opposite of blame? What's the opposite of blame? Sporty Jen, scared of the physical side though. It's an overwhelming expression of physical loss and emotional feelings. It's overwhelming. Overwhelming. Okay, let me jump for a second. Let me jump. Boom. Let's go to the egoic belief. Let's go to the egoic. I know in my most troubling times, I lean here on my egoic level. I lean here on my beliefs about what we are doing here in life. I lean here about what my beliefs are, the bigger connection in life. So let me ask you, you all know I don't like to share mine because I feel like this is all about celebrating where everybody is and what everybody believes. And I think all beliefs get us where we need to go. But what are the beliefs that we hold that provides that healing or that comfort or that ease? What are those beliefs? For me, I really love to feel and believe that there's a deeper meaning. I don't always know what that deeper meaning is. I don't. I sometimes feel like I really understand I'm connected, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. But it doesn't mean because I don't know that there isn't a deeper meaning. So I just, even when I don't understand what the deeper meaning is, I lie in the comfort of knowing there is a bigger reason. There is something. There is something. Andrea, sorry, lost you. I felt like that I was speaking and I wasn't getting what I was getting, but okay, I'm glad that you're back. Okay, so there is did you guys hear me about leaning into your egoic beliefs? Leaning into your beliefs. So I lean into the fact that there's a reason. There is a reason for this human journey. I am 100% sure that there's a reason. 100% sure. Do I always know what it is? No, but I know there is. I don't believe that we could be doing all this for no bigger reason. Sometimes I articulate it for growth and experience. Sometimes I articulate it as humaning. Sometimes I articulating it as that there's such a beauty in this physical world and we get to enjoy our senses and love it and just enjoy it, even though we might not understand. Sometimes I use the word universe. Sometimes I use the word God. Sometimes I use the word life experience. Sometimes I use the word inner being. Inner being is so empowering to me. Inner power is so empowering to me. So I'm going to ask, put the mic back with you all. What are the egoic beliefs that you lean on? What is it that you can lean on to recognize, oh, there's something bigger that can help support and carry my physical and my emotional through this journey? I'm pausing. Higher being. So it's falling back on these beliefs and these the connection with something bigger. That I am purpose. That life has purpose. That my life has purpose. My living is purpose. We are here for a purpose. Life has purpose. Death has purpose. And trusting that even though I don't always know, that purpose, that life, that trust always exists. always exists. So I'm jumping between two, my beliefs, my egoic beliefs, and then the story I tell myself. The story I tell myself. So we talked about that. We talked about it earlier, about whether or not you blame yourself. That's a story you tell yourself because you feel out of control, that you should be in control. So let's talk about the egoic beliefs and the stories we tell ourselves that empower us and support us and comfort us through this. Gary, I know it's not the same, but my little Shih Tzu who died, who did everything with me past 4 months ago, I'm sure it's not the same as a friend or a brother. Gary, it's interesting because I do have a grieving and mourning meditation and talk, and there was a certain time that I was coaching and holding 3 different people. One, there was a loss in a relationship. She had lost her, she was not even engaged, but had married this guy, or was dating this guy for a really long time, expected to get married, and he just dumped her in a really ugly way. Number 2, my niece, her cat died. Her cat died. She went out, she got hit by a car, and she died. And number 3, my one of my clients' fathers died. I was the father or mother. Anyway, probably there was 2. But anyway, a parent died. All 3 of them were experiencing that grief and those feelings and those emotions in really strong ways. And even though in a human sense, a parent is different than a cat, when you spoke to them, how they felt and that the physical expression and the emotional expression was just the same. Absolutely the same. So it really doesn't matter what it is that we're grieving or sad or experiencing the loss. It doesn't matter. Those emotions and those physical. Maybe on a mental level, you'll say, just my cat. My cat is so important for me. I would never be able to say my cat. Just my dog. No, it's not. Maybe the amount of connection and the length of life. So a parent is different than a cat in terms of how you support each other, how you're connected, and maybe the integration of the lives. So, but that loss and those emotional feelings and those physical feelings, exactly the same. And it was so interesting to see it all at the same time in 3 different parallel paths. And I would tell you that relationship one was probably the one that was suffering the most because she felt more to blame, that she should have done something or she should have seen something. There was so much more self-judgment and inability to surrender than the passing of the parent. So sometimes the loss of a relationship, of a divorce, that can actually lead to more intense feelings because there is more judgment that someone will put on themselves. Feeling of more being in control, rather surrendering to the universe. How does that feel, Gary? So no, your Shih Tzu is super important, and honor and honor and honor. Terry, my ancestors have been and always are with me, as I am also an ancestor. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that one. I love to know that on the physical, I honor that I am not connected on the physical. Can't call them up and speak to them on my phone. Can't text them. I can't see them. I can't go out with them. But I love believing that they're here. That they're here. One of my friends, her spouse just passed away, and sometimes I call on him. He was such a wise guy. And sometimes I'm like, okay, now you're here for me too. You're not just there for her. And I laughed the other day. I'm like, I think I've been calling on him too, because now he's no longer just yours. He's for all of us. So I really love that one. I love it. Sporty Jen, I'm pushing myself to understand a faith. Okay, Sporty Jen, if I can suggest, don't push yourself. If I can suggest, just enjoy the exploration. Recognize a desire for faith and higher understanding and surrender to the journey of feeling your truth, feeling the truth. And you don't have to pick a faith. You can pick beliefs and what seems to be true. And you could look at different faiths and see what are the things that are what are the similarities? And so you know, oh, here are my beliefs. You can create your own religion. Create your own religion of views that are all pulled together from different. So I'm pushing myself to understand a faith, to be accepting of life with a view to a higher power. Beautiful. Heaven. Beautiful. Beautiful. I really want to feel that there has to be so much pain and suffering in this world, and there are also amazing, wonderful aspects too. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then, Sporty Jen, that pain and suffering, that's sort of like the person in the hole. He fell in the hole in the street. At one point, that hole wasn't pain and suffering anymore. It was just a hole. It was part of the conditioning. So what I would love to see that pain and suffering really seems to be the unfolding of life, the mystery of life, the conditioning working itself out and coming into understanding and a deeper understanding. And I see the hearts going, and I absolutely love it. Sporty Jen, how does that feel? Terry, I love it. Terry saying the same thing. My little poodle is a soulmate to me. I love my pets too. Gary, he was there for 15 years. So Gary, there we go. It's your pattern. I'm going to just call you out because you're here and I'm here and you're here to grow. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but you do like to minimize the way you feel. So here's a great opportunity for you to recognize that you minimized your passing of your dear Shih Tzu, and it's beautiful to really recognize and honor that there was a significant loss and that he was with you and he's not anymore, and how that feels on the physical and emotional. How does that feel, Gary? How does that feel? Steve, totally the same, Gary, without doubt. Beautiful. About the dog, Makwa was 14. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Sporty Jen telling Gary the same thing. Oh, and Angela telling, see, Gary. Charlotte, Charlotte talking to Gary too. Okay, Angela, I'm having a difficult time because I'm grieving the abrupt end of my time with a therapist. Interesting, Angela. Interesting. We were talking about relationships, but it's any type of relationship. Love this, Angela. Love it. Who became my best friend. Beautiful. We messaged every day for 551 days. Beautiful, beautiful. Also came at the same time as my best friend's birthday. She's been gone for 4.5 years. I'm trying to minimize this ending as it was supposed to end anyway. Angela, I'm just trying to understand. The relationship ended. She didn't pass away. Also came at the same time as my best friend's birthday. Tell me, Angela, she retired. Okay, so you lost your therapist who was a working relationship. Only gave me 2 weeks notice. Okay, beautiful, Angela, beautiful. I think it's an absolutely wonderful story that makes us recognize that loss comes in different stories and different flavors, and the impact, the emotions are different. And I see Gary saying, Manal, I love you, but I can't imagine losing my sister, one of my kids. Gary, I'm with you 100%. What I'm trying to do is, I know how to say it so well. Let's not compare the impact or feeling or emotional. Let's not put emotional reactions on the scale of comparison. Let's not say that this would hurt more than this, but this would hurt less than this. Depends on where you are in your life journey, that at one point that loss might just be absolutely chapter 5, acceptance. That you recognize what's going on and you can totally recognize it. When somebody is unaware and they're feeling pain, that can absolutely hurt more intensely. So what I'm trying to say is, let's not compare pain. Let's not compare physical reactions. Let's not undermine the way that we feel in life from different experiences. Let's not say my Shih Tzu passed, but I'm not going to allow myself to feel and experience all the different feelings because it could be worse. It is what it is. So let's journey through the spectrum of emotions that you're feeling, and to honor it so you could be in surrender and trust. So Gary, do you get me? I'm not saying one's worse than the other and what's not worse, but I'm saying let's not even go there. Let's just honor the discussion about the physical reaction, the emotional reaction, the mental reaction, the egoic beliefs. Let's just sort of understand, aware, and break them down in a desire to become free and to be surrender. Let's go through chapter 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Perfect. Perfect. Gary says perfect. No comparisons because I love my Oreo. That's the point. That's the point. We don't need to say is, I'm not going to be sad because I'm thankful I didn't lose my whatever it might be. Well, how are you feeling? You can't logic or affirm or force your way mentally into not feeling what you're feeling. Okay, Gary? I think it's an important one. So I think it's important. And Angela, I think it's beautiful that you could just go through just the things that we're talking about today, about recognizing that there is a loss, and whether or not it was a loss through a death, there was somebody that you leaned on and supported and was connected and helped you and amplified your experience. And so just understanding and looking and delayering all the different layers and honoring them is the journey that we're collectively on. Yeah, guys, good. Give me the hearts, give me the things. Tell me that you're all connected with what it is. Terry, sweat lodges have made me believe what I've seen, heard, and felt in there. My body responds with a warm setting peace when I think of it. So you've gone to a sweat lodge? I never have. And so Terry, share more. I need to hear more about that. Terry. Sporty Jen, it feels good way to walk in, thorough and over it. It feels a good way to walk in, through, and over it. Oh, the hole, exactly. We're talking about the hole in the sidewalk. Beautiful. Feels a good way to walk in, go through it, go over it, do whatever. But the holes are going to exist, but how do we see it as a natural part of humaning? Natural part of us being who we are. Sporty Jen, is that what you're saying? I think so. Heidi, my son is partly responsible for involuntary manslaughter. Trying to help him cope and myself cope. Such a tragedy. Heidi, absolutely. Now, what's the difference between all of these stories? What's the difference between a Shih Tzu, a parent, and Heidi's story and Angela's story? People's projection and your own projection and judgment of things being right or wrong. The difference is the mental game that's adding to the resistance. So we already talked about the physical resistance. And Heidi, this is a beautiful segue into the mind. Okay, thank you. We talked about the physical resistance. We talked about the emotions, how it feels. We did it briefly, but we all know what they are. Sadness and the anger and the frustration, blah, 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 blah. We talked about the egoic beliefs. And then the difference in our ability to cope is our mindset about it. So in Heidi, you're talking about a case that's really difficult. Your son was responsible for involuntary manslaughter. He was responsible for involuntarily taking the life of somebody else. That's really difficult in the physical. And then there's a lot of judgment, a lot of badness, a lot of stuff in here. A lot of stuff in here, and takes a higher level of surrender, acceptance, and peace, and letting go of that judgment and going in. So Heidi, I'm going to say, I so agree without comparisons. We are all unique in vibrations of life. Beautiful. Spell check terrible today. It's okay, Heidi. I'm getting you. So Heidi, beautiful. And again, what I would offer to you and to your son is the more you start to look at the different layers, and your spectrum, we talk about the spectrum of mourning and grieving is going to be a much wider spectrum because there's going to be intense guilt, intense judgment, intense self of should have, would have, could have, intense. And I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask everybody, we haven't gone to it yet. What is it that we ultimately want to feel? And I feel a significant amount of emotion coming on. This is a crying moment. Gary, Manal, I love you. Okay, we already read that. Heidi, I started a group on InsightTimer called Incarcerated Loved Ones. It's a group if it's helpful. Fantastic, Heidi. And I think that's wonderful. Heidi, is your son incarcerated right now? I think that I allude to that. Talk to me. That's another loss that you're dealing with. Heidi, let me know if that's true or not. Sporty Jen, mom and dad were more accepting because they were elderly. Yes. Sad, but it felt easier to go through because they had lived their life and we did our best by them. Beautiful. Okay, Heidi, I'm so sad and sorry for what you're going through. And know that there's a journey that you are meant and your son is meant to come to. And I know that there are many levels of loss. So again, we're going on the spiritual. So we can all break down and cry now. And I do feel an intense level of emotion. So I'm going to honor that. But the more you can serve your son and yourself is breaking down the layers and understanding all of the layers of loss. Now there's a tragedy, there's a loss of life, and your son now, there's a loss of freedom and your loss of connection with him, and we can keep counting all the different losses. There are many, many physical losses that you are dealing with. Each one of those physical losses have its own host of emotional, the spectrum of emotions, and your beliefs. And at the end of the day, you just figure out so I'm going to ask you, Heidi, and everybody come back to it. What are the egoic beliefs that you're holding to support you through it? What are the beliefs that you're holding that allows you to surrender? I'm going to ask you, and I think this is really, really important. Steve, happy? Is that what we're looking for? Happy? 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 I think we're looking for peace. I think we're looking for surrender. I think we're looking for acceptance. I think we're looking for compassion. Heidi, I so want to hug the family who lost a father, but was told not to by attorneys. So that is a loss, not being able to say, I'm sorry. Very confused. Heidi, fantastic. Fantastic. So now you're also caught in a legal system of things that could be or should be, and that confusion. And what I just offer to you is, as much as you can, deconstruct that key lime pie and those layers and start to understand, and then come to your truth. Come to your truth. So your attorneys are telling you something, but you are not your attorneys. And I'm not in no way suggesting that you go against your attorneys. I am no way suggesting that. But I am suggesting is that you need to come into alignment with yourself and what you know is right. So you use the word confusion. So what do we want? Clarity. Clarity. And this is not something that's necessarily going to come to you immediately. These are the things that I would meditate on. I would meditate on understanding all of the losses. I would meditate on your intention. I would meditate on your compassion. I would meditate on your desire for love and connection and ease. I would meditate on asking to guide you through alignment with your inner power and your truth. Heidi, what else should you ask? And anybody else add? Anybody else add? And then Heidi, again, I want to say the complexity is on the number, the levels, and all of the things that you're dealing with. And Heidi, do you have self-blame in there? Do you want to add a level of self-blame in there? And again, I'm not trying to fix things in the physical. Manal. Mine is about really trying to help us align in the spiritual. And with the alignment in the spiritual, the physical gets aligned. Andrea, beautiful. Forgiveness. That's a form of compassion. So if you've got that judgment in there, forgiveness for their loss, for them to feel somehow, for there to be filling of their loss. How is that feeling, Heidi and everybody? Steve, I've been there, disempowering beyond. It takes your feelings, your expression. Beautiful. What takes the feelings and your expression from my observation, Steve, is your resistance to the feeling. So the more that we're unresistant to the process and to the feelings, the more we're just in flow and we are in being. We're flow. So Heidi and everybody, I'm going to ask you too, how much are you replaying the past and looking at the past versus being present and being present with everything that you are feeling, being present with your physical body and your emotional body, and watching where your mind is going. Is it staying present or going in the past or going in the future? So what I would suggest is having that's what meditation is, but set times in the day where, or all the time, where you start to really become present with, how am I feeling? What is my mind doing? What's my body doing? What are my emotions are? How do I honor where I am, but recognize if my mind is taking me the past or going in the future? And creating an intention for being present, because what has happened has happened. What's happened has happened. What we can do is set the stage for a aligned future. That's the stage for, Gary's saying, love and compassion sounds heavenly. Setting the stage for love and compassion. Setting the stage for peace. Setting the page for inner alignment. But when we're holding to the past, and Rita is saying it's hard to cut this ties to the past. Oh, it is. But I'm going to say, Rita, what Sporty Jen pointed out on Attaining Your Authentic Life that I've said before, and I've enjoyed saying it lately. It is until it's not. It is until somehow we're blessed with a strong sense of acceptance and surrender. It is until somewhere a gift of understanding and alignment and clarity comes in. It is until somehow there's a shift, and we don't know where that shift comes from, that shift is, and it really becomes part of the natural being of who you are. It is until you accept and you say, what am I meant to learn? How am I meant to grow? What is my son meant to come from this? And again, I want to remind everybody, it was involuntary. There may have been recklessness, there may have been irresponsibility, there may have been some really bad things that he may have done that was immature, but that was the past. It was in the past. It was in the past. So, Heidi, my mother, he has a mental illness. Beautiful, beautiful. So there's some compassion and love. There's beautiful, Heidi. I'm sending you so much love, and I really appreciate you bringing this out, and I hope it's helping you just to let go. My mother is now on hospice and anticipate her death soon, just so much. I'm getting a lot of help to find a path of peace and less struggling. Beautiful. Path of peace. Thank you. You are right on. Loss, no matter how big or small, we are the same. Heidi, beautiful. And that's what the intention of today was, for us to bring it out and talk. We seek, Terry, we seek a mind-spirit connection to the creator, universe, ancestor guides. And if lucky, it happens to you. I've had proof while I'm there in prayer and talk. Terry, that's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I see a lot of love towards you. You know what, you guys? I would like a mini meditation right now. Okay, hold on. I see some things, and then we're going into a mini meditation. Heidi, been trying. I need a routine. Feel guilty every time. I need my... You guys are really challenging me today on the writing. I need my clonine, but I want to stay alive. Beautiful, Heidi. And sometimes death gives us a really strong desire to live again. Rita says, meaning good things are coming. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, you guys, let's have a small moment. And I see Charlotte that has some, I'm going to share it in a second. Simon is sending love as well. Let's have a moment to send love towards, let's have this. Let's do this. This just feels really good. Let's have a moment of sending love. Rita, we're sending love. I'm laughing. Okay, let's have a moment of sending love. I'm going to say first to Heidi. Okay, everybody just send love to Heidi, and just sort of send the love and the compassion and the care and the desire for her to have the shift towards peace and surrender and acceptance, and to let go of judgment from the world, of her son, of the family with the loss. And let's just send love of knowing that sometimes things feel so hard, but it too will pass. Now, if we can collectively shift our intention to Heidi's son and just send him love. And knowing sometimes it's really hard to play a character in this life, in this world, and just send him love. And he's just so alienated now from the world, from everybody that loves him. Love and compassion, acceptance. Now let's send love to the family. The family that lost their father. For them it felt like a meaningless accident. They might have anger, confusion, resentment. Just send love. And then let's love on this group. Let's send some love into this room for the intention for us to hold the space for everybody to share, because the context of today's subject is about loss. And so it will draw conversations about loss, but hold it from a lens of empowerment, and for us to continue to remain light, but loving and compassionate and caring. Supported. We want everybody to feel supported and connected. Oh, it feels so good to feel connection and understood and seen. And we might have light moments, but it does not in any way take away from everybody's truth. But our intention is just empowerment and self-love. And okay, everybody, just imagine the universal light just coming in over your crown of your head, through your third eye, your head, your throat, and into your heart. Imagine light coming in from the pristine earth, through the soles of your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis, your solar plexus, your heart. And just imagine that light just lighting up your heart of compassion and understanding and self-love and love, and using that light to light up this virtual room and everybody's experience. Okay, everybody come back. Tell me how you're feeling. Okay. Steve, what lawyers do that, or anyone in a given context? Simon feels great. Fantastic, Simon. Thank you. And Heidi gave a gift. Fantastic. Charlotte says, really? Oh my God, with all these hearts. So Charlotte, I haven't read what you said yet. Can't wait. Rita says, P.S. Manal, your hair rocks today. Thank you. I like looking like a rock star. Okay, let's go back. Steve, when lawyers do that, or anyone in a given context, for me, it completely instills that feeling of blame. How could it not? Yeah, again, I don't want to judge in any way. Anyway, Gary, are you feeling sad, or what is sad? I don't want us to judge, because the attorneys have their roles, and there's a reason we hire them. There's a reason we hire them, and they have their roles. And, you know, and let's honor that the roles that they serve, and let's hope that they're doing a really good job for you. And Heidi, you might want to say to your attorney, I really feel a need to connect with that family and give them my compassion, my love. How can I do that from a place of not putting my son and our family at risk? I would do that. I would say, I have a strong need to connect. I don't know what I would do. I'm saying what I would do now. Who knows what I would do? But I would say, I have a strong need to show a connection. How can I do that in a meaningful way without compromising the integrity of my son's case? And it would be a conversation. It would be conversation. Anyway, that's just me speaking. One, let's not blame the attorneys. They're hired for a role, and they're doing their role. And 2, they represent us, so it's up to us to say to them, how am I going to represent? Heidi, I'm going to put a yellow rose on his grave in 3 days. It will be 2 years on December 4th. Beautiful, Heidi. Beautiful. I just give you so much love for the journey you are on. I know it's been difficult. I can see you at your light. I am so glad that you have a channel on InsightTimer for families that come together and normalize the feeling. And it's not about making it normal, like bad or good. It's normalizing like, oh, I get that. That's how we felt too. And then we let go of the resistance of being bad and feeling bad because we think there's something wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. Good. Heidi, you're beautiful. Okay, let's go. Charlotte. I understand, Manal. Grief is grief, no matter who, for who or what. My son was born stillborn. I lost 3 more pregnancies. I mourn the passion of pets where the pain feels unbearable. My best friend passed away in February, my father-in-law in January, my cousin in October, my beautiful motor, my cat friend, and fellow meditator of 19 years. I love that. His picture in my profile picture passed away in May. I almost died of pulmonary embolism in March. There'd been a lot of grieving of health, of family, of friends, and of friends. Do I feel the grief? Oh my goodness. Some days it feels debilitating, but the less I resist the grief, beautiful. That's the thesis of today. And the more I embrace the grief, perfect. And by embracing the grief is accepting, it's allowing, it's not adding resistance, beautiful. The more I'm able to find peace, beautiful. My faith also sustains me. Another one of the thesis of today, Charlotte, you are beautiful, you are brilliant, I love you. I identify as Christian, but I'm open to all creeds and religions because I believe our spirits return to where we came. Beautiful, beautiful, Charlotte. My belief is that there is more to the universe than what my brain could ever comprehend, instills me with peace. My brother-in-law calls it a crutch. I say that's fine. My crutch helps me move forward with hope. Beautiful. Hope. Beautiful. Hope. And I'm going to shift that word, or I'm going to invite a shift of that word when you're ready, from hope, which hope is beautiful, but to trust, which has the same flavor, but just a bit more of intensity and beautiful and beauty to the larger meaning, to spirit, to universe. Charlotte, you are beautiful. And in there, I know you spoke a lot of your pain. I can feel your surrender, your resilience, your strength, your beauty. I can feel that, all of that. And then what I would just keep asking is, what is all of this pain directing me towards? And if it's inward and it's to my inner power and to understanding life and seeing compassion and being compassionate, it's beautiful. But I would keep asking, what is this all directing me for? Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sporty Jen, who knew that your little story would have been really part of what we're talking about today? It's you keep going in that hole, and I know you don't keep going in the hole, so that's such sloppy language, so please don't get upset with me on that. But in that hole of loss, what is it directing you to? And how do you really find, and you're already finding it, so I'm just speaking out loud. So Charlotte, does that feel good? Do you feel good? Sporty Jen, it's my sister's 4th anniversary next Saturday, 10th. Christmas is difficult, but I get that a shift will take place eventually. Beautiful. It took a long time after Robbie to enjoy Christmas, but then I had Sylvia and we made it special together. Beautiful. Now it feels harder. So many beautiful memories and traditions which have gone. Beautiful, Sporty Jen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we'll keep just talking it until you feel it and you really surrender, and then you can come back and lean on the great memories and lean on them and lean on everybody. Guys, does everybody feeling good? Is everybody letting it all out? How are you all feeling? How is it all feeling? How is everybody feeling? Simon said, I feel great, but this was after the meditation. Oh, Gary said sad, and then I asked him. He said, I don't know if it's my sadness or if I'm picking it up from others. Well, let's try to figure that out, Gary. Angela says, I felt validated. I already did that. It's okay to grieve. I already read that. Okay, Heidi, I'm going to I read that too. Terry, way to go, Charlotte. Nice crutch. Beautiful, Terry. I said that about Gary. How do you know if it's your sadness? You guys, do you want to do another meditation? Steve, I understand her feelings. Heidi's just saying, my head is questioning the question as usual. Steve, that's totally, totally fine. I just want to honor that everybody has our roles. And I see so many people going after the people who are doing the roles that they're doing. But I'm not in any way, I get it. And what it is, it's about what our desires are and our intentions, and how make sure that the people that are providing us the service that they're doing are doing what we want them to do. And if it's protection, they're protecting us, maximum protection. If it's protection, but also there's a sense of compassion that I need to give, boom, you put that into the equation with those that are supporting us. So that was the only thing that I was saying. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Heidi, crutch. My alcoholic brother used his wife's God because he didn't believe in a God. That was not a crutch. You use what you can in this journey. No judgment. Crutches can help people get around. Supported. Beautiful. Rita says supported. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And ultimately, loss is about feeling disconnected. Loss means lack of connection, disconnection. So what do we need to do? We need to find a way to get connected again. This is the, for me, when I say this is, the egoic is the quickest, easiest route to get connected again. The egoic. Because you say, what am I connected to? Universe, God, inner being, higher being, purpose, reason for living, human journey, humaning. Pick your word. Pick your word. I love it when you guys share it because it raises the vibration. So I feel disconnected on the physical. We can't artificially recreate that connection. Sporty Jen is saying, I still don't feel connected on Christmas. We're slowly trying to do it. Sylvia's helping me, blah, 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 blah. You can't, in the snap of a finger, create and recreate the connections from that physical loss on the physical. So then you say, well, how strong is my egoic? How strong is my connection with God? How strong is my connection with the universe? How strong is my spiritual connection? And lean to that connection. That's my biggest, I don't even want to call it a crutch, even though I know you guys are saying crutches are good and they're supported. That's my biggest amplification, is my ability when my physical is feeling not at strongest to lean into my spiritual. I really, truly believe in God in such a beautiful way. And I believe that nothing is bad, even though it hurts, because there's a reason for it. I truly believe there's a reason for our existence. Can I always articulate it? No. I started off saying this. I feel like I'm repeating myself, which is fine. It's fine. But there's a reason. And the more I just sort of accept and surrender and lean into that reason, the more my physical feels supported. And the more that I find that physical situations will happen that allow me to feel supported. Yeah? Yes? Yes? How's everybody feeling? Today, my biggest intention is for us to leave feeling good. How is everybody feeling? I see some hearts going. How is everybody feeling? There was a few little mini exercises I wanted to do. Heidi, hopeful, beautiful. Heidi, beautiful, beautiful. And the other thing that I'd like to say is we like to go up. If you're feeling down and you're feeling hopeful, beautiful. Then you say, what's the next rung? Look at emotions as a ladder. What's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? Good, Heidi, hopeful is beautiful. Pamela, you're so fun and amazing. I agree my connection to spirit has worked when humans haven't been there. Fantastic, Pamela, thank you. You're fun and amazing too. You're amazing. Yes, connection to spirit. Connection, use your word. Use your word, that connection, that connection. Andrea, feeling more acceptance towards my guilt. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Feeling more acceptance towards your guilt. Beautiful. Manal, is it bad that I wish I had your confidence in spirituality? Gary, no, nothing is bad. But instead of saying you wish you had mine, I would prefer that you have yours and I have mine, and then we amplify ours together. Rita, me too, Gary. Okay, how about we all have ours and we amplify each other? Why does it have to be an or and not an and? Let's build it together. Let's build it together. Let's do it together. Sporty Jen, not sure, not quite there. There is such sadness. I hear myself sighing. Okay, beautiful. There's a few things I want to do. Ashutosh, is that how you say your name? Because I love how it looks. Ashutosh, I love it. What is your thinking for Hinduism culture? I love all cultures. I love all religions. I filter out all of the resistance. I filter out all the shoulds, no's, and could nots. I filter out everything that does not resonate with empowerment in every religion, in every culture, and everything. And I honor and love them all. That's what I'll say to you. Honor them and love them all. And I love how people can live life freely and truly and express themselves from their culture. I love all culture. I love all culture, but I want it to be empowering. I want it to be liberating. I want it to be with pride, with happiness, with freedom. How's that? How is that? Gary. Wow, Manal, we would together have the whole room in stitches. Exactly. Let's amp up all of our powers. And we are all unique, and we all come from different places and different worlds and different cultures and different religions and different everything. Let's make my soup with your soup and your soup. I don't know why I'm talking about soup. Maybe it's spicy is to make the soup. Let's just make the best of it all by bringing out the best in each other and all of us. How is that? How is that? Okay, there's a few little exercises I wanted to do. Okay, do you guys want to go into meditation, or do you want to do these little exercises? Somehow I'm feeling like coming back and talking to everybody and connecting, because I felt like they were so low vibe. I want to make sure that we're bringing up high vibe. And Sporty Jen, there's a few times after these vibrations that you say, oh, afterwards I haven't been feeling well. Well, today I want to make sure that we all feel good. Okay, Andrea, exercises. That's somehow what I'm being called to today too. Okay, and I want everybody to tell me how you're feeling, because I'm going to keep saying it. My intention is for us to end on a high vibe. When I was courageous enough to pick a really intense topic as dealing with loss, my intention, and was committed to making sure that we leave feeling good. I wanted to create a safe space for us to I want everybody to do their emotional and their verbal but I don't want it from a place of bringing the vibe down. I want it from a place from empowerment. Okay, give me those hearts, because I am so committed to that. I can't even tell you guys how committed I'm to that, because otherwise I won't want us to do these topics that are really important for us. So important for us to talk about this stuff, but from a place of empowerment and liberation, okay? And not bringing each other down, but amping everybody up. Carrie says, I feel good today. Fantastic, Carrie and Andrea with those hearts. Okay, so one of my favorite exercises to do. Gary, you never wrecked the okay, I got your wink. Okay, so one of my very favorite things, Heidi, I do have a group, Attaining Your Authentic Life. If somebody can type it for me, whenever I type, I think you guys hear the clitter clatters. Attaining Your Authentic Life. So one of my very favorite group exercises is the recognition that in our loss, there's actually a physical hole in our hearts. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to feel into that hole and then fill it with love and light and compassion. Okay. Thank you, Heidi. That is it. That's the group. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go in. Everybody go into your bodies and connect with your heart. And see if you can feel any holes associated with loss. So you can do this a few ways. And trust, no matter what you're doing, it's about trusting that whatever is for your highest good, you will be led to, and trusting that your body, your insight, and everything knows so much. Now I want you to see if you can call on your lost ones. So if you lost somebody, if you want to call them on specifically, or call on their feeling, not calling them. You're not calling them to bring them in, but calling on the feeling of their loss, of your loss. And see if you can feel any holes in your heart. If there's a big hole, a massive hole, or if just little holes, or if there's tears, just connect with that. Fantastic. And at this point, I want you to create the intention to fill those holes and honor them and honor the love and honor your life and honor their life. Just create an intention that now it's time for you to live life from a place of whole, and that it does not in any way lose any connection that you had with them. It just allows you to be whole and to love from a place of whole. And when you find holes, it doesn't have to be the loss of somebody. It could be the loss of a relationship. It could be the loss of a pet. It could be an accident or anything that has caused the loss, like Heidi was talking about earlier. Just sort of fill your heart. Fill. If there's any resistance around your heart, because I feel a lot of resistance, connect with that resistance. Ask that resistance what that resistance is. Ask the resistance what it'd like you to know. Steve, a trauma or betrayal is totally fine. Those are sometimes in the back of your shoulders so you can see. And if you want to start to expand your understanding of your body beyond your heart, so your solar plexus, yeah, Heidi, just like scars that was to become softer or disappear, but this is, we're looking for energetic holes. Fill your heart with red or green or platinum light, whatever you're called to. I like green. I also like platinum. I like the universal light. Just fill your heart. Fill your heart. And if thoughts come into your mind, honor those thoughts. If you're connected with resistance, ask the resistance what it wants you to understand. Purple is beautiful. Purple is beautiful. Whatever you're drawn to, your body will know. Just trust your body will know. A lot of you talked about pain in your solar plexus. Look for holes in your solar plexus. That's your stomach. Ray talked about being punched in the gut. Sporty Jen always talks about her stomach. So look at holes in your stomach and just fill that up. Create the intention to fill your solar plexus with light. Fill the holes, the shock, the loss. Just fill. Pamela, I'm shoveling gold into all the holes in my heart. It all melts together and glows beautiful. Heidi, blue knife edge. Knife comes out of the heart, bleeding, but then clots, saving life. Beautiful. And then once you finish that imagery, just imagine the light and that you're healing, that this is right now a healing and empowering. So if it needs to transition through different areas, it's okay. But our intention is to give us energetically and spiritually the light. Mary knew I was going to say green. It's the heart chakra color is green. Just feel yourself. The light of the solar plexus is yellow. Just go and give yellow. Just enjoy it. For those of you who can't express yourself and hold it in, put in blue in your throat chakra. Let's give our chakras, all our chakras, a bath. Your throat, imagine blue light just coming through and just beautiful. Your minds, your brains, indigo light, or anything that you're called to. That gold works too, the universal platinum light, whatever it is, just imagine light. Just filling holes. Filling your holes. Allowing the flow of energy and light. Take a deep breath in and let go of all the resistance that you're connected with. And breathe in light. And let go. And breathe in light. And let go. There's still a lot of resistance in this room. So I want to invite everybody to invite a higher level of knowing of how to help you go to the next vibrational level, of to let go of the resistance and just go into a place of surrender. Heidi, yes, it's okay not to have the answers. That's part of the letting go. Beautiful. Rita, beautiful. I want that. Let's all get this. Just ask yourselves, what is it? Guide me, body. Guide me, universe. Guide me, inner being. Guide me, light, into what I need to do to let go, to surrender, to accept, to let go of the resistance, and just honor life where I am and life where it's at. Take a deep breath in. And release. Okay, still feeling a lot of resistance, so I'm going to offer for us, if this feels good, a lot of us, when we have a loss, there's a piece of us that goes with them. And there's a piece of them that's still within us. So this is different than the holes. This is actually a piece of us that's with them and a piece of them that's in us. We are at a place of strength when we are whole. So if you've had loss of any type and you're ready to be whole again, what I want you to do is, there's one of two ways. First of all, you can take a deep breath in and imagine yourself calling yourself from everywhere. Just call yourself back and just come back for your highest good. Come back into wholeness. Oh my gosh, that feels really good, guys. Okay? Okay, take another deep breath in. And call yourself from life experiences, from those that you have lost, that have passed away, from pets, from everything. And release. Gary says Rita, Steve, and himself are exuding a lot of resistance. You can feel it. Well, I'm really inviting everybody to let go. It's so strong, my intention. Now, take another deep breath. And just bring back all the parts of yourself that you've given away or have gone away with loss. Another way that I love to imagine it is, imagine on top of your head a disco ball. And this disco ball is magnetic, and it's going to attract all of your energy that's been dispersed in any way. So imagine this ball just above your head and just pulling parts of yourself that you've given away, parts that have been gone with others, and just call it back. Imagine all going back, and if you see in your mind different experiences like we talked about today, the losses, miscarriages, manslaughter, loss of our children, parents, siblings, just call it back, all the energy. Call it all back. And now imagine it just going through the top of your crown, your third eye, your head, your throat, your heart. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this feels really good. Okay, good guys. Amazing. I'm feeling us lift. Now I want you to imagine that there's pieces of your other people that are in you. Pieces of those that you have lost within you that you're holding on to because you feel like if you don't let go, you'll never remember them. You will. They're still connected. Now I want everybody to take a deep breath and let go. Let go of everything that is not you. Let go, let it go back. Let it go back your loved ones. Let go back experiences. Let's go back fear. Let it all go back. Take a deep breath in. And let go. And I want you guys to imagine that crystal ball, that disco ball, whatever I called it. I think I called it the disco ball above your head. And imagine it doing the opposite now. It's extracting from you all of the energy that's not yours. Extracting all of the resistance, all of the pain, all of the judgment, anybody that you've lost, pets, parents, siblings, friends, experiences. It's extracting it out of you. Beautiful. And now just ask it to do what's for the highest good. If it should send it back to the recipient, go for it. And if it should just back into the universe, back safely into the universe as a fireworks show or something safely, and just sort of transmute it back to love and compassion. Whatever is for the highest good of yourself and for those that you love. Beautiful. Okay, guys, I'm starting to feel the room amp up. Okay, Charlotte, trusting my grief. I wrote this down and I don't remember who said it, but it helped so much. I think it's a healing behavior to look at something so broken and see the possibility and the wholeness in it. Hope, faith, and trust. I love it. Steve is fully present, and I'm enjoying Gary's commentary. Heidi, like a crack of light in the darkness, she said to Charlotte's comment. Fantastic. Okay. Now I want everybody to imagine light just swirling around them. Just light, beautiful light, just swirling around you. Just around you, just around you, and just giving you a hug of warmth, of love, of care. Rita, always better together, of connection, of understanding, of trust, of flow, of beauty, of care. Take a deep breath in and let out all the resistance. Okay, is anybody feeling something in particular they'd like me to address? Because very soon I'm going to just let universal light come in and just bathe us and give us a few minutes. I don't like feeling, not a big fan, joke, but this is not smooth and creamy like I want it to be. Security for me. Okay, Steve, beautiful. Okay, Steve. So our root chakra, I didn't even talk about our root chakra. Our root chakra is where our safety and security. That's our red. Imagine red coming up from the earth, going through the soles of your feet. Just bathe it in your feet. Just feel it bathing the soles of your feet. Just feel it, you guys. Can you guys feel it? Doesn't it feel incredible? Now imagine it just slowly at your ankles swirling around, this red light. Through your calves, your knees. Stay with it, Steve. Through your thighs. Beautiful. Your pelvic area. Amazing. And now through the bottom of your spine. Fantastic. And up through the top of your spine. Just allow that light to go through. Through your neck. Just let it come back out through your head and out the crown of your head. Steve, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Your root chakra, Steve, is what you should keep working. Yes, Heidi. The scientist me also resonates with her other quote. I touch my own skin, and it tells me that before there was any harm, there was a miracle. So beautiful, Charlotte. So beautiful. Rita, I struggle with any types of change, but I have to do something different. Rita, that's fantastically beautiful. You were telling Steve, but I had to read it to everybody because it's beautiful. Carrie, chakras, we can do a topic on chakras in January, but it's all about your energy centers. And whether they exist or not, I love them. And I love just understanding the 7 different chakras, just like I love my 4 bodies, the egoic, the mental, the emotional, and the physical. I love imagining the chakras and the chakra centers and imagining the energy flowing and the meaning of all of them. And I use them in everything I do because it feels so true to me. So I'll do something about the chakras and just explain them and just enjoy them. I love them, and it works. The reason I love them is because it works. It works. I'll do a chakra meditation. I feel fantastic. Okay. Steve, hold me. Totally insecure, but I just wish I could tell my truth. Beautiful, Steve. It is your truth, and you keep saying it, and keep saying it, and keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it, until your truth is your secure. And I can keep holding it and holding it and holding it and holding it until you're secure. Reed and Steve, I can feel a difference in both of you. Manal, do you think I can feel the difference in them, or is it just me wanting them to feel it? Steve, Gary, I feel like you feel it for real, and I feel like the whole room feels amazing. Like for me, I have buzzing in my whole body where I didn't. Akutash, all about chakras is explained in Hinduism scripture. I love it. I love it so much. I love it. I do love it. I love it. And by my bed is 2 books on the Gitas. 2 books. And I just love the exploration of the human journey in such beautiful terms. I just absolutely love it. And yoga, I just love it all. The sutras, I just love it. Steve, you can. So Steve, you feel a shift? Fantastic. So how's everybody feeling? Do you guys want to meditate for a couple minutes and go inside? Do you want to keep talking? I know today that we're all chatty. I tried sitting on my hands, Ray. I promise you I tried. But they're clearly still out. Andrea's feeling good. Do you guys want to just 2-3 minutes? Do you want a few minutes, or do you guys want to chat? What does everything? Gary, meditation? Do you want a meditation? Do you all want a meditation? Yes, yes, and yes, yes, and yes, and yes. Do you want to go into your bodies? Okay, so you guys still want to go into your bodies? Meditation. Okay, let's do a meditation. Does anybody want to say anything? Okay. Akutash, I read the Bhagavad Gitas, which tell you about the real way of living on earth. Yes, me too. I love them, and it inspires so much of my work. All of it inspires so much of my work. Andrea, how awesome we are. Yes, we are. Steve, I got to do something to make me feel better. I'm around a lot of under safety. Steve, it's all about recalibrating on the spiritual level, and then your physical level will follow. You might need to do things on your physical level, but I know for sure that the spiritual alignment brings the physical alignment. That's just the way it works. And then when we're spiritually aligned, then things happen. Either they happen for us, I love when they happen for me, or we become inspired to make the change that we need to do. I've seen it over and over and over again in other people and in myself. And so I know it's truth. I know it's truth. Okay. Fantastic. So, I want everybody to get into your bodies again. The intention of this meditation is to honor our bodies, honor our emotional, honor our mental, and honor our beliefs. To honor our human journey. And we all have really unique life circumstances. And today we've shared. And some of them may have felt like they're really, really difficult. Suffering and struggle. I said it, and I'll say the words. But in a grander scheme of things, on the level of awareness of the human journey, there's a purpose, there's a meaning, and there's a reason. And together, we're going to keep playing so we can see the greater meanings in our life's journey, so we can calibrate to a place of surrender and acceptance, trust. And when we calibrate there, we feel happy, joyous, peaceful, blissful. And when laughter will just come out of us so joyfully and easily. Love will come out so easily. Instead of efforting through life, we'll start easing through life. How does that feel, to just ease through life? We'll create the collective intention to ease through life. We started to bathe ourselves with light. We're going to continue doing that, because today it's all about amping our journey and ending our vibrational songs at the highest notes today. For each of us, everybody knows where they started. You know where you started. And the intention is to see where your body, your emotions, your mind, your spirit wants to be, wants to take you. So to become aware of your body, let's just start with awareness and tap into any physical resistance that you have. If you're not aware of your body, or you have difficulty connecting with your body, you can enter through your emotions, or you can enter through your mind, through a story that you know that causes resistance, through loss, if you want to honor the subject of today's inspiration, or any story. Once you enter, become aware of the deconstructed key lime pie. See if you can see the stories separate from the emotions and separate from your physical sensations. Know that the awareness of the different levels of your key lime pie is the key to surrender. Because when you become aware of, oh, that's my thought, or oh, that feels like sadness, or oh, my shoulders feel tense, and you can really become aware, you lose the resistance from being unaware, and you can start to surrender and feel peaceful and at peace with your body. So enjoy the sensations of your physical, your emotional, and your mental, and recognize that they're here to be a treat. That although right now or at times it feels so emotionally overwhelming, physically overwhelming, or mentally overwhelming, that these bodies are all your tools. They are what makes us powerful. We turned off our power, and together we're going to reconnect with our power. Be realigned with our power, to recognize the power of our physical body. We are strong. We are physically capable. Even if we have physical incapabilities, we are physically capable, because we're breathing, we're moving, our brains are operating, Our organs are functioning. Maybe some might be having problems. Maybe some might not be, but we are still physically capable. And we are not going to see ourselves of less than our full capability. Our emotions are the biggest powerhouse we have. When we turn them off and stop feeling them, they start to feel overwhelming. But when we tune into them, they lead us to our greatest desires. And together we're going to keep tooling and tooling and tooling until we get our emotional body into being the strongest operational machine as we can. And it comes through honoring and accepting and loving every single sensation. Every sensation. And if they're overwhelming at first, we will hold each other until it starts to become, oh, there's anger. Oh, there's my guilt. Oh, there's my sadness. What is it trying to tell me? And we have beat up our minds. We have beat up our minds, but our minds are so powerful. So powerful. Our brains are so powerful. And we're going to just lean into trusting and recognizing that they are here. Our brain is here processing so much information for us, and honor that journey and honor detangling the brain from projecting the noise and letting it just lead from clarity and knowing and trust and hope as a knowing, hope as a miracle, hope as truth, as truth. If you're inspired to take a timeline journey to see where some of this conditioning has come from, some of these emotions that you're connecting with, just imagine yourself in the womb of your mom. Let's just sort of fly back in your timeline and go back into your parents' womb, your mom's womb. Go into your mom, go into the tummy, and just recognize how infinite you were and you are. You are that same soul, that same source, that same light. But recognize that that baby came to learn some things. And right now, you connected with some of those learnings. So just go into that safety of the womb and see, did you start picking up some of those things that you're feeling now back then? See if there's any insight about your life journey that you can gather from being back in that womb. Imagine yourself being born and feeling and connecting with that spirit of yours. And watch as your normal life conditioning and life's happenings started to impact you. And just be aware of your vibrational journey from a place of curiosity, wonder, and exploration. Imagine yourself flying through your timeline and loving on all of your conditioning and your experiences and shifting the lens from things being bad to like, wow, all of this is happening to help me grow and expand. Life is fascinating. I much prefer to be empowered. I much prefer to be aligned. I much prefer to be in flow and trust than to come in from a place of unawareness or victim. Invite the shift. And the shift comes from accepting all of the life experiences as part of the journey towards your liberation and freedom. Imagine yourself just flying through your timeline and sending love on all your conditioning experiences. When you're ready, come back to your present day. Fill yourself with all the learning that none of this is personal, that you came here for a specific journey and you are doing fantastic. Everything that is meant to be is, and that you are living the life from a place of beauty. You're growing and transforming every day and empowered to be such a fantastic being. Working to continue to find surrender and love and peace and acceptance in every moment. And when there isn't, that's okay, because it's just teaching you how to surrender. And the flavor of surrender is fantastic. At this point, take a deep breath in and release all resistance you connected with. Take a deep breath in and release. Take another deep breath in and release. Imagine just light just circling your body. Imagine light just circling your body, circling around and around and around until it starts to fill you. And watch where the light goes. Does it start in your stomach or your heart, or did it start from above through your head, or does it want to come through your feet and your legs, through your pelvis, and just sort of see where the light, just watch it dance around and just fill you, and invite it to fill you as it likes for your highest good, where it sees that you benefit from being filled with love and light. Imagine that light of all colors. Imagine the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Take a deep breath in and release all resistance that you connected with. Everything is here to teach us. And when we use the lens of growth and expansion, use the lens of life is amazing, use the lens that everything just is, the flavor of life just becomes better. I'm going to pause for 2 minutes for you to set the intentions, any intentions that serves you today or tomorrow, for the rest of your life, for the month, for the year, for as long as you want to set an intention. And just enjoy the vibrational feelings in your body. I'll call you back in 2 minutes. Fantastic. When everybody's ready, come back into the virtual room. I didn't count, so I'm going to count to 5, and on 3, open your eyes and join us again. 1, 2, 3, 4, open your eyes and come back in. 5. Gary, I see your sense of humor just shining. I see that you're punching holes through Steve's titanium shell. Fantastic. And I see the gift. Thank you. I hope everybody's receiving my notes from the gifts, because I know that somebody's told me that they haven't, and I know InsightTimer support is working on it. So if anybody, every time I get a gift, I respond to it with a personalized note. So I hope you're all receiving it, and if not, let me know. Come out of the meditation talking about administrative things like that. That's so funny. How terrible. How's everybody feeling? Today there's been a lag in me talking and seeing everybody. I think everybody's still there. Yes, for meditation. Sitting in the room all alone. The cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Da 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 da. The cheese stands alone. Manal, you have the best calibrated in my life. You are the best calibrated in my life. That calibrator, fantastic, Andrea. I'm so happy to hear that. I wasn't sure where you were coming at. What? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic. And Charlotte with a beautiful, beautiful note to Steve, and I totally agree with you, Charlotte. The essence is that Steve is here for a reason, and he is a powerhouse, and he is well on his way of journeying. Steve likes to underestimate the power of himself. He's very powerful, very powerful. I see the power. I do see the power. I agree, Charlotte. Gary, I won't check, but emotionally I have tons of questions for next time. Gary, fantastic. Do you know when next time is? Do you know when next time is? Next time is quieting the monkey mind. It's on 12/6 at 9:30 a.m. I think that's Tuesday. 12/9, overcoming anxiety about your health. I like that one. We played with it today during the meditation. Cosmo has decided to join us. And 12/13 looked like a slash. I'm like, how can it be 12/3 if I said 12/9? 12/13, it says laughter is a tool for healing. I can't wait for that one. Bring your jokes there. And then 12 something that's still not scheduled. It's supposed to be about time. That's for Mary Alice. So that one's still not scheduled. Andrea, you're most patient. I see Steve's intelligence power too. He's so powerful. It's so funny. Cosmo, look at Cosmo in his power mode. This is my dominant cat. Steve, yeah, breaking my shoes. Kidding. I hear Kitty. Hey, Cos. He says that. Yeah, that Cosmo is he owns me. Cosmo thinks I'm his pet. I'm not joking. Cosmo thinks I'm his. Oh my goodness gracious. So how is everybody feeling? How is everybody feeling? Gary, come back on Tuesday. I decided it was Tuesday. Cosmo, where are you going? Where are you going? My tea is there. He's jumping on my tea. Where are you going, dude? Where are you going? Gary, I am his, I'm telling you. Where are you going, Cosmo? Cosmo, we're live, if you're going to talk. Andrea, great workout that was for the soul. I am glad to hear, Andrea. I'm so glad to hear. It was my intention, like I said, we are going to leave today on a high note. We are leaving today. Sporty Jen, seeing Cosmo has made me feel a little lighter. He is gorgeous. Mine is the same to me. Minnie is the same to me. Fantastic. Sporty Jen, yeah, he is cute. He is gorgeous, except I've been locking him out of my bedroom every now and then lately because he just keeps waking me up and he wants me to like pet him. He keeps like touching my face. I'm like, dude, do you not know? It's sleepy time. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, guys, I'm feeling absolutely complete and fantastic. Is everybody feeling the same? Anything that anybody wants to discuss before I say, drop the mic? Steve, a little broken, but I didn't say not bad. So Steve, is little broken better than when you started? Andrea says yes. Fantastic, Andrea. I always love that you're here. These afternoons for you. Steve, is it better than when you started? Yes, that's my intention. That's the intention for you to leave. And then just look at how you calibrated higher. Enjoy the flavor of feeling better. That's what the lens is. Not where you are, but the feeling better. The better. If you're feeling great, you ride the great wave. But if you're feeling better, you ride the feeling better wave. Fantastic, Steve. Fantastic. Scary, still sad, but different. Gary, write out that sadness and see what it's telling you. Sadness is okay every now and then. It is okay. Andrea, morning for me, 9 a.m. Perfect, not 3:30 in the morning. Yes, and it's Friday, so I don't know if Friday is good or not good, but anyway, it's good. Oh, no, it's Saturday for you now. It's Saturday. No, yeah, Saturday. Gary, write out Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Gary, write out that sadness and ask it what it's telling you. What is it telling you? Steve, yeah, but I could have done with that without sitting on that couch. You could have done without what? Feeling better? You could have done what? Sporty Jen, thanks, Manal. Just conscious of feeling numbed out, sad, but I always pick myself up and have the chapters now. Fantastic. I just want to see you guys. Remember, we said we're going to do this, but overall feeling better. Boom. Steve, you read so quick. Couldn't have. Yeah, but I couldn't have done that without you sitting on the couch. Steve, thank you. Thank you. I see the nod. Thank you. Well, I couldn't have done this without all of you guys. You are all fantastic. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. You are all fantastic. Come back on Attaining Your Authentic Life. Say how you feel. Talk about everything. Today it's about honoring. People died. We're going to feel loss, and it's okay. It's all about feeling good about it. Not feeling good about it, but being okay with it. Pamela, I feel calm and not so worried. I missed the beginning and didn't share the sea of loss part. That's fine though. That's good. That's good. Pamela, you didn't need it. That's why you weren't there. So that's perfect. Sporty Jen, we read that. Oh, Andrea, I listened to you outside today and it was powerful. Fantastic. I can't wait till I go outside again. I looked at the temperature since 1. I was like, oh, can I sit outside? It was in the 50s and I just didn't want to be that uncomfortable. Gary, no evil Manal today. No evil Manal. See if she comes out on Tuesday, but she is tame. I've been in a really good mood lately. So no, she didn't come out, but who knows? You never know when she makes a guest appearance. I am wearing black, so maybe there's a middle. Manal all over today. Manal what? Andrea? Sometimes I'm good at reading the typos. Manal, all love. Yes, all love. Oh my God, you guys, with all the stories, all love. Nothing more than all love. Nothing more than all love. You guys are all fantastic. You are all fantastic. Okay, so have a fantastic Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tell me how you're feeling. I love you all. You are all an amazing part of my life journey, and I would not be on this amped up journey without you all. I love that we can honor all of our emotional bodies together, our physical, emotional, our mental and physical, and love them. And the more we learn to love all of our bodies, the more amazing our life journey will be. Gary, I sung a few times, and it was during and coming in and out of meditation. It wasn't right time, but I sung a few times, but nobody, I did sung. I sung. Isn't that the past tense of sang? I sang. Sang? I sang, sung. I did, I promise I did. Andrea feeling amazed and blessed. That's the way I want it. That's the way. Peace out. Yes, something about cheese. Yes, I started singing The Cheese Sits Alone or something. It was from something in the 90s. The cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Oh my God. On that point, I really have to hang up for today if I keep going onto that. I'm like, really, Manal? We came on a meditation. I'm talking about the cheese stand alone because Ray told me to sit on my hands. Okay, you guys are all brilliant. We will see you on Tuesday. Tell me how you're doing. Life is amazing, Sporty Jen. Now I'm laughing as the cheese. Someone needs to put a cheese emoji in the chat group. You are all brilliant. I love you all. Let's keep growing and amping up. Today was a really tough topic. I love how everybody participated and we grew from it. There we go. Steve says the cheese. And this is the best time for me to say, I love you all. I love you all. Let's keep growing. Let's keep expanding. And I will see you next week. 3 cheese, 3 cheese, 3 cheese. I think we're going to have Mexican today. 3 cheese always reminds me of Mexican cheese. 3 cheese. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know if we're having Mexican. Don't hold my kids to that. Children, if you're listening, I'm not sure if we're having Mexican. They're not listening. I know they're not listening. You guys need me to go. She's going off the deep end. Okay, I love you all. I love you all. Speak to me, talk to me, connect with me. See you next week. Have an amazing weekend. Enjoy. I celebrate you all. I celebrate you, Andrea. I celebrate you all. I celebrate life, our life journey. My love. Always. If you enjoyed what you saw, follow me on YouTube, on Instagram. Follow me on all of the social media. If you like what you saw, follow me on InsightTimer, YouTube, Instagram. Go to my website, www.Mattain.me, and sign up for my weekly newsletters. We're all about growth and expansion and directing you to attain the life that you desire. My love, always. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, follow me on YouTube, InsightTimer, Instagram. Go to my website, www.Mattain.me. Sign up for my weekly newsletter. We are always going to be about growth and expansion and really helping you attain the life that you desire. My love, always. Don't forget to go to my website, sign up for my newsletters, and follow me. Instagram, Facebook, InsightTimer, and YouTube.